Sanders met with the Titans, the Browns, and the Giants ahead of this week's Shrine Bowl. These teams, who own the first 3 picks in this year's draft, are all on the market for a quarterback, but many have speculated whether Deion Sanders will ultimately determine where his son ends up. Recently, Shedeur came to his father's defense.
I ain't know your parents, being involved in wanting the best for you is a problem.
Right.
I think as parents, each and every one will want the best for their kids. So the fact that he has an opportunity to do that for me and he has the best quarterback in the country, he's supposed to do that.
Shannon, I got a co-sign on that.
So do I.
What do you think of Shedeur defending Deion?
He shouldn't have to. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. Stephen A., we get a lot of criticism. Oh, you're not there. That's why the son went astray. That's this and that. And the family dynamic. He's always been there. He's always done everything that revolved around his kid. Like I said, I've known time over 30 years. We've been really, really close friends for about the last 15, 16 years. And he's always done everything in the best interest of his kids.
Absolutely.
I ain't hear none of this when behind the scenes, we know what happened. Eli was supposed to be in San Diego, but he ended up in New York. I ain't hear nobody say anything about that. Time, keep doing what you're doing. Do what you do. Put your son in the best situation so he can be successful. And then let all the critics and everybody say what they want to say. But at the end of the day, we want what's best for our children, or at least that's what we should want as parents.
You know, one of the things that this reminded me of, Shannon, I remember we saw prime time with the outfits, the change, the pizzazz, and all of this other stuff. And we always downplayed how you always saw him with his kids. The man is a wonderful father, and you could see how much his children love their daddy. And so when you saw Shedeur say what he said, I mean, speaking up for what father wouldn't want that? I've got 2 daughters. You have children. Do you want your child speaking against you? You want your child sitting there saying, step aside? No. You want your child to want you involved in all of that stuff. It's a very touching thing. But the other side to this is that this is the greatest cornerback in the history of the National Football League who has now proven he can coach. He has every right to be involved with whatever is going to involve his son on the collegiate level and soon to be on the pro level. He has every right to do it. And if Deion Sanders says something that's best for his son, we should all listen and take heed to that, because he ain't talking about hockey.
Yeah.
He's talking about football. That would be a level of expertise that Deion Sanders has that no individual on the planet Earth can question. He has a right to do it. Continue doing what you're doing, Prime. Continue doing
that's the whole objective, is to be in a situation where we can actually help our kids. A lot of people aren't in the position where they can actually help, and no matter the situation, to help their children. He's in a position that he can actually help his child, and he's been in his child's life for the entirety of it, and he's always steered him in the right direction. We're going to Jackson State. We're going to see you. I want you to be in the best situation, because we know some of these franchises can ruin young quarterbacks in time.
I've been saying, this is not the same Chiefs, man. They're not this. They're not that. They're not this. The hell they're not. Yep. They're an unbelievable football team. And when he said it about, it's everybody. It's not just one guy, meaning himself. It's everybody. Offensive line got better. Vulnerable all season.
Yeah.
They played their asses off. You got, defense, same thing. Oh, hell, they're not as good. Well, they showed up in the big moments. Special teams, the hidden yardage in this, they had a big plus in the game. And you know what? Let's say what we say. Andy Reid? No, he's right there with the greatest coaches of all time.
Yes,
Why?
sir.
His team is always prepared. Situational football. They totally outcoached the Buffalo Bills in the critical moments right there. All right? Any of the short yardage things, the rollouts, all those type of things. And here's what happens. Here's what the Chiefs never do. They never flinch. You know who flinched? Buffalo. Buffalo flinched. Their coaches flinched. The players, you got to catch the football. All right? He flinched.
Dalton Kincaid
flinches. This thing right here. This quarterback doesn't. This guy's a beast. All right? Nobody in the damn league makes that throw. He does. 4th and 5, whatever. Crazy. But that's what happens. You can't do it. And Josh would say, hey, to beat the champs, you got to beat the champs. No, you got to knock the champs out. You got to take it from them, especially in their building. And take it out of the judge's scorecard. Means you got to be up 2 scores. They weren't.
D-Wood, you were on the Patriots in the early days of the. You have a sad look.
Why are you so sad? Listen, man, I've been on both sides of this thing. I have. I've been on both sides of it. When I was with the Patriots, one thing that Coach Belichick used to always say: do your job. That's what Patrick Mahomes was talking about on the field post game. As much as we try to heap praise on Patrick Mahomes, right, deservedly so, he's a great player. He's an all-time great player. But Patrick Mahomes is not in that position without Samaje Perine doing his job. Without, Smith-Schuster doing his job, Xavier Worthy doing his job, offensive linemen doing their job. It takes a collection of men on each and every play to go out there and do your job. That's why these teams come up short against the Kansas City Chiefs. Because the Kansas City Chiefs understand that Patrick Mahomes can't do it all by himself. In order, if we're going to be a dynasty, you don't become a dynasty without people, first of all, buying into the culture that you have set, buying into the specific role that your coach has for you. Everybody can't be a superstar. People got to have specific roles. They just do their roles better than everyone else in the league.
Can we put up A13, please? Because here's the conversation that has to be had. They have now won their last 17 consecutive one-score games, which is by a wide margin the all-time best. Dating back to last Christmas, a year ago Christmas, I would submit that they are 23-1 because one of those losses was the last week of the regular season this year, a game they did not try to win. They literally rested everybody. They have lost one game since a year ago Christmas. One of the games that included in this, of course, is the Super Bowl last year, and now they have a chance to win another one. We have to start having a conversation. As unspectacular as they've been all year long, this is one of the greatest teams of all time. What we are watching right now is one of the great. I'm not even talking about the dynasty. I'm talking about a stretch in which you win this many games in a row, no matter how you do it. It's ridiculous.
Everything we say about Bill Belichick, we have to say about Andy Reid. It is as well prepared, as well coached, and as well executing in situational football as a team that we've ever seen. And here's the thing. They treat every play like a championship play. They just don't know when it is. First quarter, 9 minutes ago, it's a championship play because they don't know when it's going to actually impact the outcome of the game. Third quarter, 3 minutes to go, they're going to treat it like a championship play because they don't know how it's going to actually impact the outcome of the game. Just go to the 2-point conversions. You don't know when they're actually going to impact the outcome of the game because they happened previously. I'll go to the quarterback sneak for Josh Allen. The play that Justin Reed makes is absolutely sensational. Where he aligns to where he actually makes the play. He's outside of the tight end. Watch him on this play. He swims, dives down. He's the person that makes the first contact on Josh Allen. No 2-point conversion. That's a huge play. But it doesn't happen with the fourth quarter with 1 minute to go. This is the other 2-point conversion. They start with the man at the bottom of the screen. The motion comes down. They go in and out, and then the motion goes and they switch it again. Yep. Perfect. And backside, they zone it off perfectly, flawlessly. And they win the 2-point conversion in that play. Does it end up being the difference in the game? It does. Yeah. But it doesn't happen with 1 minute to go in the fourth quarter. Every play is a championship play for this organization.
Yeah, so in the first hour, I said winning is a habit, right? I said courage is a practice, and also, courage is an action and confidence is a practice. And what I mean by confidence is a practice is they've done that before, though, and they've done it in huge moments. The moment doesn't get too big for them. Yeah, it's the AFC Championship. It's a 2-point conversion. Oh, wait, I was in the Super Bowl last year, and I had to find a way to execute this. Oh, okay, Trent McDuffie, you're going to blitz here on 4th and 5. Oh, wait, I was in the Super Bowl last year against Brock Purdy, and I had to blitz. Justin Reed, I've been locked up against the best tight ends, against the best wide receivers. And across the board, this team has consistently been in these positions. And so now when you get into those positions against teams that are trying to figure out if this is the year I can be good enough, you already know that you are. And the thing I listen to Patrick Mahomes, he's not just talking about that specific game when he says it's more than just me. He realized he hadn't been his best self the entire season. But because of that team taking every play as a championship play, they got the best player in the world into the most important position this weekend. And again, he showed up.
You know what I see with this team? It's an organization that is a simple thing. You got to get better every day. They did organizationally. Smith-Schuster, he wasn't there. Hopkins, P. Ryan. They weren't even on these.
Justin Watson.
We
Hollywood
get better.
Brown. Like all these guys. Like, yeah.
But also, too, all these dudes are there and nobody's complaining because of culture and accountability. They're the most accountable football team in all of the NFL, and it shows on game day.
I would also argue the two teams that we're going to see play in the Super Bowl, you got evidence on tape. They're the teams that play with the best effort throughout the course of the game.
Yeah.
Philadelphia has played with the best effort throughout the course of the game more than anybody. Kansas City has played with the best effort throughout the game more than anybody.
And they have the two things you need to have a dynasty. The modern history of pro football, every dynasty has the coach and the quarterback. Lombardi and Starr, Nolan Bradshaw, Walsh in Montana,